Hey, good afternoon, Titan. This is Brian Hennessy over Titan LED, and today we want to shoot another video, just an educational video to try and help you understand pole mounts, parking lot poles, how to mount a shoebox on the top of a pole. So a basic, some of you guys, this might be a little insulting, I'm not trying to do it at all, I just want to bring it down to the basics. So we brought you out to the parking lot where we actually have a parking lot pole. This is a 4-inch square pole. At the top of this, if you want to zoom up to the top of this, you'll see that as an actual shoebox. And on top of the shoebox, this particular pole is mounted with a 2-bolt pattern. What we'll do is when we come back, we'll go back inside the showroom now, and I'll go over all the adapters that go over the top of this pole. And I'll refer to a 3-inch pole, a 4-inch pole, a 5-inch pole, and also a 6-inch pole. And we can do that in square and or round. So when we go back inside, we'll go over all the adapters. I have them laid out on the desk for you. So I'm just trying to give you a basic understanding of how you adapt a shoebox to the top of a pole. Follow me in. Hey, thanks for following me back into the showroom. So let's start where we left off. And where we left off, the pole in the parking lot, at this particular parking lot, was a 4-inch pole. So this would be a tenon for a single shoebox. This would go over the top of that 4-inch pole on the top. If you weren't going to mount to the face, this would slide right over the top. Actually, I'll leave the face stuff secondary. Let's just talk about tenons that go over the top of the poles right now. So this is a 4-inch pole cover, it goes over the top. We make this in a 4-inch, we make it in a 5-inch, we make it in a 6-inch, and we make it in a 3-inch. So you have a 3-inch, a 4-inch, a 5-inch, and a 6-inch slip cover. What you'll notice about Titan's design is we make this in a 10-inch sleeve. And the reason we do that is because if they were, prior to us putting new boxes up, if they had a 4-bolt pattern or a 2-bolt pattern on the face, when you slip this over the top, you cover all the old bolt patterns. Pretty good, huh? So that's something custom to Titan LED. You won't see that option out there much in the marketplace. So pretty cool stuff. Now we just talked about square poles, and as I said, we had the 4-inch square out there. You're going to see most common poles are probably a 4-inch square and a 5-inch round, or 4-inch round as well. Those are probably your two most common poles. The other thing you'll look at here, this is a 4-inch round. So if you're not running into a square pole, obviously you're running into a round pole. We have adapters for the round pole as well. This is a 5-inch round, and again, the exact same scenario we just talked about. You have a 3-inch round, a 4-inch round, a 5-inch round, and a 6-inch round. Now keep in mind, I just want to say it one more time, this slips over the top of the pole. Then it has 2 Allens on this side that mounts this and sticks this to the pole so it does not move. And then your box goes right on the top of this. I'll explain how it all goes together in just a moment. So these are your tenons that go over the top. What we do with this now, if you move down here, you have mounting brackets that go on the walls as well. You got the same 2 3/8 slip cover, which I don't know if the camera can follow me as quick. You have the same 2 3/8 mal. This would be mounted on the wall with a 6-bolt pattern, and then your shoebox could slide right on this as well. So if you want to do it on the side of a building, if you're doing it on any kind of flat surface, you can use this particular adapter to put your box on. Okay, this is 2 3/8. That's standard in the industry, is a 2 3/8. To give you a rough idea real quick so you see how this works, this knuckle is attached to every one of our shoe boxes. So literally the shoebox would be on this, and it goes over the top of it that easy, and your shoebox is hanging off here. And I'll explain more about this in just a minute, but just to give you a basic idea of how that works. So this is a 6-bolt pattern with an 11-inch extension on it. This adapter you can use roughly, or mainly people are using this for telephone poles. Some people like to, if you're on a farm or out there in the wilderness somewhere, on Alaska, I don't know. They'll take this particular adapter and they'll mount this to like a telephone pole, and this will give you the exact same thing. It's perfectly straight. You put your shoebox right on this, you can mount it to a telephone pole or any kind of wooden surface you can use this mount with. Okay? This is a 6-bolt pattern as well, with the same 2 3/8. This goes on. If you didn't need the 11-inch extender, then this could be a flush mount, and you can put the shoebox right on this and mount it closer to the wall. This is what we call a universal pole mount. So if you're not going to use a slip cover, This goes over the top of the pole, as we talked about before. If you're not going to use that, and this is down, and you're trying to put one box per pole, maybe 2 boxes per pole. You have a straight pole, you can put a box to this side and a box to this side by using this. This is a universal pole adapter. You can use this. This has a standard 2-bolt pattern in it and a standard 4-bolt pattern in it. Okay, so if you're not going to use that slip cover, in order to put the box over the top, you can use a 2-bolt pattern or a 4-bolt pattern and put that to the side of the pole with each one, with using this as a pole adapter. This would go to the pole, and then as you remember, the shoebox again would slide onto this after this is adapted to the pole. Hopefully this is clearing up some of the questions that we have in the field in regards to pole adaptation and how things work. This knuckle, this is actually one of our shoe boxes right here, as you guys are familiar with. This is a shoe box right here. So every one of the shoe boxes comes with this knuckle, this particular knuckle here. This knuckle is going to move just like this. It's going to go up and down, right? So when this gets mounted to the box like this, just keep in mind, this is how it's mounted. This is going to go on every single adapter that goes out. The shoebox is going to fit on every single one of those. So whether it's a 4-inch pole, 3-inch pole, 5-inch, it's always going to go back to a 2 3/8 slip cover. So when we're sending you the hardware from Universal, the Universal mount, when we're sending it from headquarters here, it's always going to mount to whatever adapter you pick. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay. This pole is a single adapter. If you get in a situation like car dealerships, what we do is we make that same cover in a 10-inch, and now you can put 3 heads on one pole. So I'm standing in front of this, but you can see this is the 3-gang. We call it a 3-gang because you put 3 heads on one pole. That's on a 4-inch square with 10 inches of a sleeve to cover those last holes from the last install. So we make it in a 3. On top of the pole you can do a 4. Guys, this is some serious hardware. I could barely pick it up, but I want to put that on the camera so you can see what that is. That's a 6-inch square there. All right. Usually on a 6-inch square, if you're going to put a 4-gang on a 6-inch square, you'll notice these are certified engineered drawings. These particular bullhorns are rated at 110 miles an hour sustained wind with 31 pounds of ice on each one of the heads. So this is some robust stuff. So that's a 4-ganger there with a 6-inch pole or 6-inch square adapter. This one here is a 4-ganger on a 5-inch square here. But if you notice, everything has a slip cover to cover the old holes. And then over here, that's a 2-ganger, our most common. That's a 2-ganger with a 5-inch round. And the most common is going to be this one here, a 2-ganger with a 4-inch square. Probably your most common product right there. As you can see, it's pretty robust. Just even pick it up, it's pretty heavy. So I just wanted everybody to know we're shooting this video today to let everybody know Titan manufactures all of this. So all of this hardware that goes along with the shoe boxes is manufactured here at Titan LED. The other thing you want to be sensitive to is shipping. This stuff is very, very heavy. So if you can use a 2-bolt pattern where you can use the universal mount and not have to call for a slip cover, you're going to save yourself and your customer a lot of money in shipping. This universal mount, it's a pretty universal mount. I mean, it goes to a lot of different places. You don't have to call for a slip cover. If they're using an existing 2-bolt pattern or 4-bolt pattern, very easy to call this out, slip your box right in the front of that. So I think that should help you out on that. In regards to all that we're doing here, shoe boxes, I can tell you the shoebox world is growing every single day. Not too many places that we don't excel when it comes to shoe boxes. Right here, for you guys that don't know, this is going to be your 148 shoebox mounted. This will be your 296. We call it a 2-panel. We call this a 4-panel. And this is going to be your 360 shoebox, which we actually call a 6-panel. Every one of these shoe boxes can be mounted on any one of these solutions that I gave you at the beginning of this educational video. So I think today, that's all I had to shoot. We're constantly pushing to bring new information to you, so when you sit down, you can study this stuff, and hopefully it helps you move your career forward with Titan LED. Thanks for taking time to be with me today. Have a wonderful day. Sell and prosper.